Hey guys, welcome back. We're doing another episode. I'm taking a look at some match footage, reviewing it, and seeing what we can learn. As a start, I've been going through my own matches. So this is the second match we're looking at. This is my second no-gi match in my first white belt tournament. A few people asked me how long I've been training. I've been training for about 6 months when I went into this tournament. This was back at early 2018. It was a submission-only good fight tournament. The white belt rounds were about 8 minutes long until you went until submission. And I think if it was like a final match, like a first place match, they would allow the time to go up to 15 or 30 minutes. No points, submissions only. I think the only leg locks were straight ankle, no knee bars, no twisting locks, no wrist locks, no twisting leg locks, I should say. Just a introduction of myself. I'm a black belt at the 47 BJJ Co-op in Brooklyn. I'm the jiu-jitsu instructor and co-owner of the gym, and just going through kind of to see what my mindset was at the time. And a lot of white belts have asked me, and blue belts, what I think about going into a match, what I see, and what we can learn kind of from looking at match footage. So this is kind of like a project in that sense. Today I do have annotations, so hopefully as I draw on the screen, you guys will be able to kind of see better what I'm talking about, and hopefully it adds something to the experience. So without further ado, let's get started on the match. This was my second no-gi match of the day. All right, little fist bump. Neither of us has a great wrestling stance. Going for a collar tie here. He's being really, he's disengaging very aggressively here, which is interesting to me. I'm actually pretty calm to start out with. Maybe my collar tie is heavy, but he's really running away from it. I am putting a forward pressure. I'm looking to put my weight on him, and we'll probably see him moving back. Something I do here even to this day, I'm going to rewind just a drop if we can catch it. Right here, I'll show you guys. When I go for a collar tie, a lot of times on this, ooh, look at that. We got the marker going. Rather than going to the tricep, or a lot of times even rather than going to the head, a lot of times I'll just kind of lay my arm over the top of their arm. I'm not trying to grab the inside of the forearm. I'm just being heavy on that arm for now. It allows me to pummel a lot of times if I don't like the pressure, if he's grabbing my neck like he is right now. It allows me to alleviate the pressure rather than just trying to collar tie him back. So if I don't like the positioning, I use that a lot of times to reset. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's see what we see here. Some shoving. No one's really changing level. Both of us are going for heavy head control. Looks like he's winning with a 2-on-1. There you go. I'm using that pummel to break that grip on my neck. And we're just pushing each other around. I feel like if either of us would have gone for a level change and gone down for the legs, we would have had success. But one thing to think about here is, if you guys notice through the beginning of the match, I am constantly the one who's kind of owning the center of the ring. If you think about where we started, kind of like this being the middle, as our exchanges with grip fighting went, I was here pushing out this way. Now I'm inside pushing out. I feel like I'm doing a good job here of kind of owning the center, which means that I'm kind of controlling the tempo a little bit. I'm also using this opportunity to continue drawing on the screen because it's kind of fun now that I have the ability to. Yeah, that's even though, like, from a technique perspective, it doesn't always translate into something obvious. From like a mental perspective, if this goes on for too long, he's gonna feel like he's getting pushed around. He's gonna feel like he needs to do something, and I feel like I'm slowly walking him down, if that makes any sense. Even the posture you see here, my feet are planted nicely, flat. I have a good base here. You can see he's mid-step. He's trying to elevate in order to put pressure back into me. So yeah, even though there's not much going on in terms of the grip fighting, I'm kind of winning a positional battle here. Pushing me back in, and you see I'm constantly pushing him out from the middle. And that's something I like to do once in a while. We can take a quick look at that. Is a drop throw. As I'm pushing my weight into him, you'll see him. Sorry, if I can just come back 1 second. Right now, you can see his feet are planted. I'm going to push my weight into him, and because he's tired of getting pushed out, he's going to push back in. You see he's raising his level. He's going to put his weight into me right here. Oh, that's a nice freeze frame right there. The feet are off the mat. His weight is going into me just like that. I'm a professional, guys. These arrows are handmade. And then you can see as soon as he does that, I'm going to drop my weight, pulling him forward. That same wrist grip I was setting up before, I turn it into kind of like a forearm grab, and I drop to the mat, and his forward pressure kind of just topples him over me. Now, the way I'm setting this up here, if you notice my left arm, let's change the color here so we can highlight the left arm right here. My right arm, I'm sorry, isn't connected to anything. So when we fall, I don't really have much control. I'm inviting a scramble, but it's one way of getting us back onto the mat.
There you go.
And there's your scramble.
Okay.
Not much control. He had his phone on it. I hadn't watched this match in a long time. I totally forgot about that. White belt jiu-jitsu, guys. There's no pocket in the shorts, so you must have just had it in the waistband. Glad we got that out of the way. And we resume. No one expects anything more. A little bit of wrist fighting. Again, notice I'm kind of owning the center of the mat, and I'm pushing him out. Constantly pushing him out. He's trying to come back in. But now we're playing that push-pull. More grip fighting. He's trying to push me back in. But again, now I'm setting him up for... Ooh, there we go. He's afraid of putting too much weight into me because if I drop, he's going to go over the top again. But really, if you guys have noticed, nothing with the legs. No one's grabbing for a leg. No one's trying to trip. Okay, and we saw it right there. I think I just kind of... sorry, wrong button there. So I dropped for the legs here. And I think at this point, I thought we're too far out the mat. And this is something, if you guys are going to compete, you got to change the mindset on, is don't stop until the ref tells you to stop. So I have a pretty good position here. If you can see, his weight is over the top. I have a 2-on-1 on the leg. My head is on the inside. That's pretty much everything I could want when I dropped to take a leg. It wasn't a pretty shot, but I got the position. But in this moment, I'm thinking that we're too far off the mat, so I just let it go. And you're going to see I literally just let it go. And I stand up. And he's holding on, and I'm talking to the ref like, we're off the mat. I knew you were going to stop it. But as an instructor, not that I push a lot of competition, playing the rule set. But if you're going in there, you got to let the ref do his job. You don't let go. Let the ref stop the match. That's just, I guess, how you win. And we reset and we go.
Let's go to Moon.
He's trying to do the same to me, but because we can actually take a quick look at that too. I like that because of the hand fighting, especially here. You can see I have a really strong inside position, right? So there's a barrier here. So even when he drops his level to grab my legs, he's trying to break the grip, and his posture is broken. But because my hands are in front of me right now, when he drops his level, he can't get to my legs because my arms are just blocking it. So if you're ever going to go for the legs, you need to make sure to clear the frames. You need to clear the grips to make sure you have a clear path to get to the legs. A little bit of friendly trash talk there. I think this was a pretty friendly match. I'm assuming either him or I or someone from the corner was saying something funny. And then, just so you guys see it again, if you notice the collar tie, go back to red here. Oops. I am not I'm not matching his collar tie. When he hits me with the collar tie, instead of chasing the head, I just get heavy on that inside arm. It's something I still do today. I just don't like to match the collar tie always. I like to go asymmetric with a lot of my grappling. Okay. So we're about 2.5 minutes into the match, and we still haven't gone to the floor yet for a white belt match. Okay, he ducked. I grab a head and arm. This is, again, something I love doing. I still do till today. I don't have a super strong guillotine, and I don't like sitting to my butt, even when I have the head and arm. So while I'm still looping the head with one arm, I reach and I kind of cradle the leg with the other arm. And this gives me a pretty strong position to run around to the back of turtle, or to I could sit back and roll him over if I wanted to. I can hook the legs with my leg. So if I take this leg here and I come around and I start hooking this leg like this, I can kind of entwine his body, make it easier for me to staple over him, to start looking to take his back or to solidify a pretty strong top control. Fortunately, I just stay in front of him, and we do a very large, let's take a look at that one more time, huge movement. This is very white belt. At white belt, we like doing big things. My instructor, Birdman, always says small moves, small mistakes, but you're going to see I have a clear shot to the back. I get to the back, but I've created so much space. Look at that Grand Canyon between our hips. My hips are actually somewhere up here. His hips are down here. There's, a foot, 2 feet of space between us. He's got so much mobility, and even by the time I drop, he's already raised his hips. He bucks me off. He goes for a roll, and now we're in a scramble. Thankfully, almost 3 minutes into the match, we're now doing jiu-jitsu rather than white belt wrestling. But what could have been a very dominant back take or a very strong side control position, meaning if I would have been able to consolidate control and stayed behind him or been around his legs, but now he's got his legs in the game, he can start playing a guard, and I have to pass his guard. I'm not back to step one, but we could have skipped a few steps if we had a little bit more control and calm. And even worse, we just stepped back up. I don't know what is going on here, but I appreciate, actually, from a jiu-jitsu perspective, especially for sub only, I don't know why I stood up, but from his perspective, I gave him space, and he didn't choose to play guard. That was a pretty nice technical stand-up. If we rewind here, he's got a frame out. He keeps his arm out right here to keep some distance, and he, I don't know, Gracie 101 self-defense. Not the cleanest way of doing it, but he got back up rather than staying on bottom. So I think from a philosophical perspective, that was a great point from his part. And we get to wrestle again. And again, I'm just pushing him out. I think at this point I didn't have too many techniques in mind. I hadn't done stand-up in years, meaning we didn't train much stand-up I don't know if I trained any stand-up or takedowns going into this tournament, so I'm just relying on what I had in high school, which was 20 years before this. But just putting my weight forward and walking him out of the mat. And you can see he's frustrated with it. You can see it in his face. I'm actually staying pretty calm in this match, and he feels like he's working. Just pushing him out of the mat. Even when we circle back in, I'm constantly the one who's closer to the center. Okay, little leg trip. I don't think I respected his stand-up very much. And
There you go.
okay, let's take a look at that sequence because I'm not sure what happened. All right, so I kind of went for an arm drag here. If I can rewind it. Okay, I did two things at once. So instead of planting, so you can see kind of I have the arm here. This is my arm on the inside of his tricep trying to pull forward. But rather than planting and pulling him forward, I kind of lunged into it and hooked his leg at the same time. So my bottom leg here is hooked around his calf. So what I'm trying to do is sit into that and kind of pull him over and trip him with my leg. So pull him in this direction, and hopefully my leg here trips him on the bottom so he falls. All right. And you can kind of see that slowly occurring. He's cutting the corner. But he didn't quite fall the way I wanted, so I'm turning back into him. And I'm just trying to follow him on top. And we turn it into a reshoot, which was probably my best bet here. I actually love these grips I grabbed right here. I've looped underneath to grab. I have his ankle caught right here. My right arm is coming up strong. This would be better probably around the waist or the thigh down here. But even around the shoulder, if I can make that connection, I have a pretty strong hug on him, and my weight is coming forward. So this leg here locks, and it buckles, and it falls. I'm having too much fun with the arrows, guys. I'm sorry. And you can see he's forced to sit to his butt, but I think because of the momentum, he goes for something. There you go. He tries to go for kind of a butterfly sweep. I get tossed a little bit in the air, but I shift my hips. I land on my knees. So rather than tumbling over, I'm able to maintain, and I get heavy and kind of land in a very high side control. So normally in side control, I'd want to be inside of that arm. My hips would want to be on this side of the arm, but we're on top. He's got double underhooks here, or his arms are on both on the back side of my body. I'm really high here, so if he starts, so he does have an escape, especially with the momentum. Let's take a moment and just describe the position because we're finally on the mat here. I am in side control. I'm just very high on his chest. If he, with the grips he has, if he bridges up and over into, let's say, this direction, he scoops his arms above his head like this, then he's going to make space for his head to slide out here, even if I don't fall over. He would need to plant his feet in order to create that bridge. But instead, he just takes his arm out and he tries to return to a regular side control. Now, something I tell my students, I don't love this, is for side control escapes, when someone's on top, I either want both arms on one side or the other. So he had his arms on this side. Now he moved one arm to this side. If he did that for whatever escape he has, I would want this arm on this side in front of my neck as well, so that he has strength for the escape on the same side.
Keep him down.
All right, little low. Again, we talked about this in the first match. I'm doing a really, really poor case of Katami here. My hips are totally turned. I don't have base. But he's trying to get to his side, and I'm just keeping the pressure. Looks like I'm trying to cradle for the back. And here we go. This guy's defense is actually pretty good. So as I'm looking, I think I get the gift wrap here. So if you can imagine, his arm is over here, and I'm grabbing his fist from around his neck. But he's turning his hips away, and as he turns his hips away, I'm too connected. So right now, his knees are pointed at the mat, and his butt's coming up. And I'm trying to step over in order to get my leg inside his leg. But he starts turning, and now my head is too far over. I'm really high over the top right now. I've chased that grip a little bit too far. If he just tries to scoot his head out, if he lifts his hips, he could buck me off the top. He rolls through instead, and this is a scramble. He could have gone to close guard, but I turned it into mount. I got really lucky here, and I probably used a considerable amount of core strength in order to maintain that position. But he doesn't look like he's having a great time. I think he's pretty gassed, even though we're only 3 or 4 minutes into the match. He's using a lot of juice right now. He's got his knee inside, which is great. He's creating a nice hip escape, opening up my my knees. I'm just focused on the arms, and he's got himself back into half guard. And this grip right now is doing nothing. I should be club in the face, or I should be trying to dig the underhook. But right now, that grip, because of the way he's got his half guard in, is not helping me out. And now we're into a close guard. Nope, we're still in half guard. And I've turned it back into a gift wrap.
There you go.
But this time I have one hook in. So now I should be in a better spot to take the back. I just want you guys to notice here, again, just look at the gap between our hips. There's a lot of space here. What I ideally want is his shoulder right now is maybe, let's see if we had a little protractor here, maybe we're like 30 degrees off the mat. What I would want is for this shoulder to be turned this way so that this is a flat wall. And even with my foot in half guard, this knee would slide up here and my hips would drop into that space. And that way I'd have him on his side. My gift wrap, the arm that's around his neck, would be pretty solid. I'd have my shin behind his back to prevent him from rolling, and I'd be able to put more of my weight on him. Right here, there's so much space. If he was a little bit more conscious, he could probably get this knee inside this space. Even though it's hard for him to turn towards me, with a little bit of hopping and bopping, I think he could find it. It looks like he's trying. He's holding on to my far leg rather than bringing the knee in. You can see the space right there, but he's holding the far leg here. This knee should be working inside here, and I would have been in a lot of trouble. But again, white belts. He's doing a pretty good job for a white belt. And I think, from my perspective, leaving this much space is also pretty common for a white belt. So it's not always, at lower level jiu-jitsu, it's not necessarily, in a competition, to be fair, technique recollection just goes out the window. But it's about like space and feel, just the gaps that we're leaving. And this is kind of what I was talking about before. I got him on his side. You can see my knee is high up behind. His shoulders are at a 90-degree angle. And because of that, look, hips are flush on his body. Now we took away that space. He gave it to me, thankfully. But this is what I should have been looking for. And that allows me to do a chair set. And if you notice, I sit back too hard. He's able to roll through onto his knees. And I may or may not get this back take. I'm digging for the harness grip. One under, one over.
Sorry.
And I'm really using a lot of strength. This is a bad spot, having both hooks in. I'm trying to throw in the rear naked, and we're going to rewind that here. I believe he gets a bloody nose here. Or bloody face, yep. So, let's see. When I went for the rear naked choke, you can see I put it on over his mouth. His mouth is open. So I probably hit his lip against his teeth or something. Happens in competition, unfortunately, but not the cleanest. So the ref stopped. He saw the blood. We take a break. I feel horrible. This kid's probably 18. But he'll live. Okay. So we're going to reset. Switching videos here. And there's a short blood timeout. If I recall, we're back on the mat. We start with my hooks in and a harness grip, which I think is fair. All right, and we'll see what happens. He steps over. He's looking for an escape. The issue here is it looks like he's escaping into the choking arm. Is that right? Yes. So when we're excuse me, when we're looking to escape, guys, there are escapes into the choking arm, but you got to know what you're doing. If you're walking into the choking arm for the escape, so let's rewind a little bit here. This is my choking arm. The choking arm generally points the way of the escape. His higher probability escape would be to turn that way, or to get his hips to the mat that way. But turning into me is a little problematic. It makes it easier for me to follow. I do like what I'm doing here, even though my control isn't great. Using this top hook right now, I'm trying to put it on the inside of his hip to turn him back. And at the same time, it looks like I'm locking up the rear naked. I don't know if I'm under the neck. Nope, he's defending it. He got the choking arm off, but he's face down. I have both hooks in. There's a lot of pressure on his lower back right now. He rolls through. Doing a great job of defending, actually. He does not look happy right now. Sorry, my man. Sorry, my man. Again, I'm probably using way too much horsepower. If you see, described this in the last video with my close guard. This is all flex right now. This is all flex right now. And even though I can, if we just rewind a little bit here, if we just rewind a drop, this is like very white belt. If you look at my face right here, I don't look too panicked compared to him, but the body is telling me a different story. Ankles, flexion, flexion, calves, flexed, hamstrings, flexed. Everything's in tension right now. So my lower body's holding on for dear life. Even my wrists, look, you can see the striations of my forearm right now. Here, there's a highlighter, guys. We'll do the highlighter. Look, you can see the striations of my forearm right now. So, yeah, relaxation would have gone a long way here. Working to get under the neck. I think I got a bite there at the end. And trying to finish. Really sloppy finish for the rear naked, but I think I got under the neck. Let's just rewind it. Drop. I don't think I can catch it. But I will say, if you look right here at my hands, this hand right here should be inside the bicep. So this hand should be inside the bicep there in order to properly lock it. So I might have just been pushing his head with my second hand. Might have just been squeezing really hard with the first hand. Who knows? But looks like whatever it was, we got the job done. A little handshake, a little bow, because I'm a humble guy. Of course. Thankfully, we get the hand raise. I was really, I think, felt really bad about giving him a busted lip. But so it goes. All right, so that's our second match. Thankfully, won the second one too. Next week we'll have the third and final match. It was the first place match for the no-gi white belt tournament. If you guys have any questions or comments, some of you guys reached out to me in person, but if anything comes up, just leave comments on the video. I'll be looking. If you guys have match footage yourself you'd like me to take a look at, I'd be more than happy. Yeah. How was the annotations, guys? Too many scribbles? Not enough scribbles? I only got 3 colors I can choose from and wasn't really too excited about any of them. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Again, this is Damoon, instructor at 47 BJJ Co-op here in Brooklyn. And hope everyone got something out of this. Good training. We'll see you guys next time.